Hello my craft friends, Tracy here with Sweet Bay Lane. This is part 3 of a 4-part series where we're DIY crafting everyday home decor that'll take us from Valentine's Day into spring and beyond. Now if you missed part 1 and 2, I'll have those linked in the description box below, but let's go ahead and get to crafting the projects in part 3. Now for this DIY, we're going to be using 5 of these wood heart ornaments from Hobby Lobby. And then they come like a little ornament. We're going to be using those. We're going to be using this beautiful stamper that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, and I got it for a great deal. A rubber stamper. And then you'll need some paint and some ink of your choice. And I'm going to be using this red ink from Hobby Lobby along with this paint. And then I'm going to be using this as embellishment, this little ribbon, gingham ribbon from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to start by painting our ornaments. And to do that, I'm going to remove the hanger tags. Now that we have our hanging tags removed, we're going to paint our hearts both front and back in this brown. It's actually a creamy chamomile. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now we have them painted on both sides. Make sure they're dry. That's a little bit wet, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to move on with our tasks here. And we're going to take our stamper. Yeah, our stamper. And we're going to load it up with our ink. And I'm just using this red ink. It's called Cherry Red. And you can find it at Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to stamp my hearts like this. Oh, look at that. Do you not love it? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get going. We're going to do the rest of them. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm loving this. Loving it. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Do you not love it? I do. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm just impressing myself over here. Oh, brother. Hey, you guys can feel me. You know what it's like when things become a success. Trust me, I've had so many failures, craft failures. Oh my goodness. So when I have successes, I enjoy it. I take the moment to just soak it all up because I know bad crafts are coming my way. That's just what happens when you're creative. You got to figure it out, right? That's how you get to be better at something. You just fail and you keep on going and figure it out. Without failure, we're nothing. Also, how do you know when you're doing it good if you haven't failed a few times? Think about it. How would you know that is good if you didn't fail at a few things? All right, we got one more here. All right, so now we've got that side done. We let that dry, and I'm going to do the back side as well. And once we have those done, I'm going to take mine out and give them 2 good coats of this Rust-Oleum clear coat. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now we have our hearts sprayed on both sides. And for this next step, it's going to be very easy. We're just going to take one of these beaded garlands, and I got this when their fall went 90% off, and so I got a great deal. But even at 50% off, it's a good deal because that makes it $4.50 for this beautiful long garland. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the center of our garland right there. And we're going to tie our hearts onto our garland. And I'm going to use the same why did my voice just go up like that? Then we're going to restring our hearts onto their twine. And we'll just tie it into our beaded garland. And I'm going to let mine dangle just a little bit. And then once we have our hearts tied on there, you can actually embellish it as much as you like. I'm going to keep mine simple with just the hearts and the beads. But I do know they make some really pretty beads for Valentine's Day at Hobby Lobby. They have pink and red and black and all the fun colors. So whatever you wanted to do for your home decor would be perfect. I also think a black bead strand would be so beautiful with these lovely little hearts. Now for this DIY, I have an idea and I want to see if I can implement it. So this is really an experiment and I'm taking you along with me. But what you're going to need is you're going to need your heart base, and this could actually be anything. You could make it cardboard, little wood ones like this if you can find them. And you also need some ribbon, and I'm going to be using this velvet ribbon. It's a fall ribbon from Hobby Lobby. When they had their sale, I purchased it. And I'm hoping this is going to be simple. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut individual pieces of ribbon, and we're going to glue them together like this. So then you have what looks like this, like a little point. And we're going to do that. We need enough to cover our heart. So let's go ahead and cut these out. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them. I think that's a good length. I'm going to cut them out first, and then I'm going to take and glue them. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to take and just glue them like this. And you can make them as pointy or loopy as you want, but I think that's going to be a good point for me. So then you have what looks like this. See? You just glued it together and it looks like a little point. So now I'm going to do that with the rest of them and make a bunch of them, and we'll see where we're at with that. So let's go ahead and get to making them. All right, now we have some cut. I'm sure I'm going to need more, but I just wanted to show you the process before we cut any more. And I think I'll just leave this on for now because we're going to not be there. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little corners and we're going to glue them onto our heart like that. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think the best way is to start from the bottom and then go up, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this, so we'll see how this works out. And then I think the best way to do it would be to just do like that and go up like that and then fill in. So let's go ahead and keep going and see where we're at. And then I'm just kind of eyeballing it and trying to keep this row level, then this row level like that. So let's keep going and see what's the best way to do this. I think that's the best way. We'll see. We'll see. And then let's do one more row right here, and then we'll start filling in and see what it looks like. All right, now we're going to start filling in and see. Now, let's see. Are we going to do we're going to do in between each of these. So like this is going to have one in between it, and then we'll do another one, I think, like this. Yeah, let's try that. Right there. Right there. And you want to just keep these even here. All right, that's looking pretty cute. So now I'm just going to keep filling it in till we get the whole heart filled in with our little ribbon tufts, whatever you would call them. I'm not sure what you would call them. That's looking so cute, you guys. Let's keep going. I think I am definitely going to need to make more of these. All right, so now we have them all on our heart. Look at that. How pretty is that? I love this so much. But up here, I'm going to trim these off with some scissors, just the edge. You see how the edge is kind of peeking over? I'm just going to trim that off of my piece here. All right, now we have it trimmed. And I'm going to be adding a hanger to mine. But first, I think what I'm going to use this for the hanger. And I'm going to put a little pink velvet bow right here. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll make just a simple bow and we'll put that in the center of our heart. Once we have our bow done, we'll just glue it in place. Hey, if you like what you see so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Just a little bit more. Oh yeah. There we go. Perfect. Fluff it up. Flip it up. All right. Now we're going to take our little rope here and we're going to add a hanger. And then you're left with this beautiful velvet heart. All right, now this DIY is kind of like our last DIY in that I'm just kind of winging it here, but I have this idea and I wanted to use up these little hearts that I bought on clearance. I bought them last year at, Walmart, and I can't believe it, but they were $1/4 for the whole thing for 3 wooden hearts, solid wooden hearts, plus you get the paint. And you also get stickers. It was a crazy good deal. I couldn't pass it up. All right, so we're going to set these aside and we're going to take our one heart. And I'm going to be using some more of this velvet ribbon, this pink velvet. I think it is so pretty. And I'm going to cut some strips of the velvet ribbon. So let's go ahead and do that. We need it to be, we'll do about that wide. And we're just going to cut some strips. All right, now once we have our ribbon pieces cut, we're going to lay them out. And you'll need them to be as wide as the heart that you're using. And then you'll also want them to be the fuzzy side down. Please ignore my dog. She's panting. She worked herself up in the other room, and to quiet her, I had to bring her in here with me because the neighbors are out there doing something. I don't know what my neighbors are up to, but anyways, it's the across the street neighbors. They're doing something over there, and she's all worked up. But anyway, so if you hear that panting, that's her. But you start by laying out your pieces of ribbon, the velvet side or the pattern side down. Pattern side down. That's easy for me to say. Now we're going to take and weave our pieces into our 4 pieces. So we'll do like that. We'll weave them in and you'll alternate. You'll take and then you'll flip this one up, bring it through, over this one, and then under this one. And then you'll keep doing that until you get all of your pieces in place. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now we have that done, and we have our little pattern, woven pattern. And we're going to take our heart. Now I'm going to just keep mine natural, I think, because I want the natural matches with the pink so well. And I think the best way to do this is to kind of put it on its corner. Yeah, and put it on its corner like that. And we're going to glue this down to our ribbon. Now, I'm not 100% sure the best way to do this. I'm thinking that a glue stick might be good, but I'm also thinking that the hot glue might be good because I want really more of a permanent seal on it, and I'm not sure that this would do it with the fabric of the ribbon. So let's go ahead and just do hot glue, and we'll try to get it as evenly coated as we can because I really don't want any of it peeking through here. So let's give this a whirl. Let's give it a whirl and see what happens. You never know. You never know. This is my way of thinning it. This probably won't go well, but we'll see. Hang on to your hats, kids. We're DIYing. Because we need to stick both of them together, so we'll see. I hope that the glue doesn't come through the ribbon. That's my only concern with the hot glue, but we'll see. If it does, we'll start over and figure it out. Okay. Perfect! Look it! It's perfect! Yikes! And now what I'm going to do is just come in and glue the rest of these down to the ribbon. So now what we're going to do with our cute little ribbon heart is we're going to trim the edges of our ribbon. And for that, I'm going to be using these scissors. So hopefully they're sharp enough. We're just going to start cutting around our heart. All right, so now we have our woven heart, our ribbon woven heart. We have that done. All right, and my idea originally was to put something around it like these pearls or maybe this rope, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think my idea is evolving as we go here. Those might come into play later, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more of this velvet ribbon and I'm going to put it around my heart, the outside of my heart, like that, and just cover the outside of edge of my heart. So let's go ahead and do that. And then once I have the ribbon around, I'm going to use it as a sitter, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bow right here at the corner, and I just made it out of some of that trim that we got from Walmart, and I think these are a little bit long, but let me just go ahead and glue it down and then we'll continue on with our plan here. So let's go ahead and glue it down. All right, perfect. Yeah, that looks good. But I think these are a little long, so we might trim them up. But first, I want to add something to the center of my bow. And since I live in South Florida, I'm going to be using a seashell. And we're going to put that right up there. So it's going to be a beach-inspired Valentine's Day. Or you could just leave it out for every day also. And then you have this cute little sitter piece for your table or shelving or maybe in your bathroom, somewhere where you just need a little decoration in a small space. I think it turned out so cute. What do you guys think? And you could put anything as your embellishments. I just used the seashell because I think it is so pretty.